Hello, my name is Matthew Waltz. Today I'm going to do a speech about why you should learn to do things yourself. Let's start by defining self-sufficiency. What is self-sufficiency? It's considered a quality or the quality or condition of being self-sufficient. Well, what's that mean? Well, self-sufficient is defined by needing no outside help in satisfying one's basic needs. So are you self-sufficient? Can you satisfy all of your basic needs without outside help? Well, let me tell you a little story. How many people out there know how to fix their own car? How many know how to fix their own plumbing or replace a window in your house? If you know these things, then you probably know how much money you can save yourself in the future by knowing how to do these skills. As a young man, I realized the benefit of being self-sufficient. My dad was an engineer, so he taught me how to do a lot of things by myself without help. So when you don't have to pay somebody and you realize the benefit of having the skills, then you gain what's called self-sufficiency. So an example of this would be recently I had to replace a clutch in my truck. It would have cost me thousands of dollars had I paid a shop to do this, but because I had the skills and the tools to do it myself, I was only on the hook for the cost of the parts. And of course, the time spent working on it. So I think we all know how expensive things are, and especially these days, and how expensive it is to hire someone to do work for you. And as it becomes harder and more expensive to run a business, more than ever, it's beneficial to know how to do things because the costs of all these things keep going up, and you won't have to absorb that cost if you're self-sufficient. When we hire a business to do something for us, we're not only paying for their service, but we're also paying extra for them to have their business. So they have extra costs that are constantly going up, such as taxes and fees and all of the licensing and certifications that are necessary to run the business. So you're also absorbing that cost. So learning how to do things yourself can be beneficial in a lot of ways, and it gives you that freedom and self-reliance that's priceless. So taking the financial load off of your shoulders is another huge benefit, along with having the ability to help others who may not have those skills or may be facing financial difficulties. So if you take your car to a shop, and let's say you have the battery replaced, it costs you $200. Do you think it's because the battery was that expensive? It's very unlikely. The shop probably charged you for the battery, and they also charge you for an hourly rate to replace that battery, plus you have the shop fees and of course the battery itself. So what if you had the skills to change your own battery? Do you think that would help? Would that make it easier and more financially attainable for you? Because if you did, then you may purchase a battery for less than $150, maybe $100, and then you're saving yourself a trip to the repair shop and all the fees associated with that. So that's at least $50 that you're going to save on a simple task such as changing a battery. Along with saving yourself time and money, you'll now feel good about yourself that you were able to accomplish this task without any outside help. So when you consider the average person who owns a home, they spend approximately 1% of the value of their house in maintenance, which we can easily see a $200,000 home would require about $2,000 of maintenance yearly. So every year you're paying that much money in maintenance. So let's talk about your car. If you have a vehicle and the average American spends $2,000 on maintenance in their vehicle every 5 years. So every 5 years, you're spending $2,000 maintenance in your vehicle. You're spending $2,000 a year maintenance in your home. That adds up. So you can again see why it's so important to learn to do things yourself. And overall, you should really consider these two things just as a simple example as to why it may be beneficial to learn the necessary skills to save yourself a ton of money and gain that independence and self-sufficiency that'll build your personal excitement. It'll build your sustainability. Like you can sustain a lot easier with less if you're self-sufficient. So hopefully these things will help you through your journey in life and save you a lot of money and give you the personal stability and independence that you want. And last, I'm going to leave you with a couple of quotes from some famous people that you probably know. First was Mahatma Gandhi, and his quote was that everyone wants to be strong and self-sufficient, but few are willing to put in the work that's necessary to achieve worthy goals. That means a lot. The second quote I'm going to leave you with is from Aristotle. And Aristotle simply stated that happiness belongs to the self-sufficient. Thank you for your time, and I hope this helps to convince you as to why you should learn to do things yourself.